Okay, today we've got a special one. This one proves that heroes don't need to wear capes. The hero that keeps on hero that keeps on heroing. We've got Darren Wright, founder of Veterans into Logistics, an organisation that gets military veterans into work. What a man! How you doing, Darren? You all right?
Yeah, mate. How are you? And I just want to say thanks for giving me this opportunity to talk today about the work that we're doing.
Yeah, well, yeah, your voice needs to be out there, mate. It needs to be said what you're doing. You know, we need more of it. So I appreciate you coming on, mate. Really do. Um, So you've had quite the journey really in your life, haven't you? So before we get on to what you do now, can you just tell us about your background and what led you to get into this organisation?
So I grew up in Manchester, grew up on a council estate, come from a broken home. Mum and dad's split when I was about 4 or 5 years of age. And as you know, like when you grow up on a council estate, you don't think it's any different. You think it's a normal life. And I ended up leaving school with no qualifications. Ended up joining the military. To escape me humble beginnings, should I say. I served in Afghanistan. I just done under 6 years in the military, and then when I left, I struggled with the transition. I ended up becoming homeless. Suffered mental health problems. I turned to alcohol and drugs. And I was in a bad way. Like I said, I became homeless. My marriage broke down. Distant father to my kids, and I was in a really bad way, mate.
Yeah, it seems like a bit of a common theme with veterans, doesn't it? Why do you think that is? Why do you think so many people struggle to find work for a start? And why do you think well, it's probably understandable why so many veterans are broken, but why do you think they struggle to find work? Why do you think they struggle to transition?
I think me personally, having like going to prison, coming out, I had my HGV license that I used to get into employment, and then once I got myself into employment, I started looking at, looking at myself, looking what I went through, where I struggled with my own transition, and the more I looked into it, the more I thought the ones who tend to struggle the most are the ones who leave without a trade. That supports them into employment. So you've been an infantry soldier. For my job instance in the military, I was an air defence para. So my job was to jump out of aeroplanes and shoot them out of the sky. Now you're not going to get a job in Civvy Street doing that. So it's the ones who leave the armed forces without a trade that is recognised in Civvy Street. They're the ones who tend to struggle the most. And not just that, you got individuals who join like myself. I joined the military to get away. Less academic. You're not going to get into the police. I didn't have the mental. What should I say? The cleverness to get into like them type of jobs because I wasn't academic. And I think it's them type of individuals who struggle the most when they leave the armed forces. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, they're the ones that tend to struggle. So when you walk down the road and you see a homeless veteran, and you see him there with the little, the placard, no saying veteran with a military number. It's not someone who's been an officer or someone who's, like got an education behind him. It tends to be the council estate kid, less academic, infantry soldier, and can't get a job when he's left the armed forces.
So I think part of the message to those people, to anyone in military, really, is to take anything that they offer you. Yeah, any kind of training or courses they offer, take it.
100%. But I think it's recognising what you are. So I think, growing up as a kid, this country has always pushed education down children's throats. Not everyone's educated. Or should I say academic, right? So I don't class myself as an academic person. I class myself as a skilled worker, right?
Yeah,
So that's what I am. But when I was a fuel tanker driver, I was on 52 grand a year basic, 4 on, 4 off. I was on the same wage as a high school teacher, where I didn't have to deal with Ofsted, teachers, kids, parents, So for someone who left school with no qualifications, I was actually on a good wage. And if you look at like the construction industry, like the mobile crane industry, most of
yeah,
that's all skilled working.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And that's what's building the country, isn't it? Really.
100%.
Yeah, I think that's what these organisations need to recognise. So yeah, so you talk about HGV there. So that's what the core of what your organisation, how it started, when it getting people into HGV driving. Yeah, can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So what happened was, I left prison. I had my HGV license that I used to rebuild my life. So when I left prison, I got into work straight away. Within a week, I had a job. I was a HGV driver. I went on to become a fuel tanker driver. And then what happened in 2018, I get a phone call out of the blue. And it's one of them phone calls, have you heard about, like when you get that phone call, like, have you heard about such a matter? You know that phone call is going to go. So one of my military friends phoned me up and said, have you heard about Jamie Doyle? Now, Jamie Doyle is someone who was served in the military with. And I went, yeah. He went, well, he's been found dead this morning. And I'd only just spoke to Jamie 2 weeks prior because I'm a Manchester City fan. He's a big Liverpool fan. He comes from like an Irish Scouts family. And was having a bit of banter after Man City had just played Liverpool. And so I was gutted, that I'd been found dead that morning. And I ended up going to the funeral. And when I was at the funeral, like, he had a fantastic send-off, one of the best funerals I've ever been to, and I shouldn't say that, but he had a fantastic send-off. All my military friends were there, like the veterans were there, his big Liverpool family were there, all like the Liverpool tops. And it's when I walked away from that funeral, it hurt me a lot more than what I thought it would, because it's when I was on my own as a fuel tanker driver. And I started thinking of like the homeless veterans on the street, the 10% of prison population ex-military, the ones who struggle with the transition. And that's when I thought more, and I was looking at, like I was Googling it, looking at, doing my own little research, and I just thought, it's a class thing, this. And I say that because you don't see, it's a class and educational thing, because you don't see, the officers who are on the street. You don't see the ones who are educated, have got a trade, who leave the armed force, like the engineers, technicians, nurses. You don't see them struggling to find employment. They walk straight into jobs. You got big recruitment companies who chase after them. Do you know what I mean? Because of the training that's been given in the military. The ones that struggle are the less academic individuals, right? Yeah. Skilled workers. And they're the ones who need support. And that's what made me come up with Veterans Intelligence, because I thought to myself, when I left prison, I used that license to rebuild, my life. That enabled me to become a taxpayer, enabled to be a father again to my kids, enabled me to be part of society and start enjoying life. So that's why I thought, you know what, I want to train people, veterans who are struggling, to get a HGV license. And I can get someone a license in a matter of 6 weeks. My daughter's a school teacher. She done 3 years, English degree, a year PGCE, 2 years A levels. That's 6 years further education. And when she started a job as a school teacher, she started on 26 grand a year. I'm training people in a matter of 6 weeks, and I'm getting them on 36, 38, 40 grand a year. You know what I mean? And we all need money, but income like that, that's a decent wage, has an impact straight away. And that's where we've been successful in training individuals up, getting them the HCV license and get them into employment where it's having an impact straight away. That's making them part of society and, enable them to not only provide for themselves, provide for their families and live a normal life and give them that structure, stability, financial security that everyone needs to get by in life. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I totally agree. I mean, I've seen it myself with my cousin. My cousin's had mental problems for years and years and years, and he's been on benefits for it. So he hadn't worked properly for like 15 years, so depressed, and he got a job in construction. Wasn't a fantastic job. He was cleaning the toilets and the canteen and all that sort of stuff. But
that's not a fantastic job.
No, it's not. But it gave him money.
Yep.
He can put petrol in the car. He could put food on the table, and it gave him a sense of purpose. Yep. It got him out of a little bit of a hole. Yep. It didn't stop the mental problems, but it helped. It's definitely the way forward.
Well, I'll say this, when you're unemployed, right? So I think it's something like 40% of people who take drugs, not recreational drugs at the weekend. I'm on about drugs, like drinking drugs, like during the day. I think something like 46% who take them type of drugs, and most people are escaping what the reality that they've got, where they haven't got a job. They've got no purpose, they've got no structure, they've had a poor upbringing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but employment plays a major part in people's lives. Do you know what I mean? Because it gives you that, like I said, the structure, purpose, provide for your family. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I always go back to COVID. So when COVID first kicked in, I was fortunate at the time as a fuel tanker driver, so I became a key worker. But there's a lot of people who lost their jobs. There's a lot of people who worked in the film industry, the food, restaurants, retail, who lost their jobs, and they all started suffering from mental health problems. Do you know the government's pushing out that people are struggling? Do you know what I mean? And there's a lot of people who took their own lives because they started suffering from anxiety. They started suffering from depression. They didn't know when the next wage packet was coming in, and when you can't provide and you're worrying over, it causes that unwanted stress. I actually watched a woman. Well, I shouldn't say watched. I seen her, and I was driving into Manchester, and as I drove in a carriageway, she was there getting ready to jump over the bridge, and there's a
Wow.
lot, and it was happening all the time. You know, like motorways being closed because someone's jumped because they've lost that. You know, it was going through in certain times, but they also didn't have any money coming in because they'd lost their jobs, and like I said, it causes anxiety, depression, and
Yeah.
I've got a purpose in life.
Yeah, yeah. I watched your because you had a BBC documentary about what you do, and I watched that. You helped a couple of guys find a job, didn't you? You got them trained up
Yeah.
and
Yep.
helped them. Yeah, they
Yeah.
both had like I think one of them had a young family. Can't remember about the other one, but one of them had
Yeah.
a few disabled
He
children.
did. Yes.
Yeah,
Dan Birchett, he was called.
yeah, and the change in them when they got a job, it was unbelievable.
Well,
You got
that same guy. So you think of it, right? So he was unemployed. His missus was unemployed, right? And he's both had these two disabled kids. I trained him up and got him his license, got him a job. He started work at like 3, 4 in the morning. I know it's early, but he started delivering milk for Muller's. Do you know the Muller yogurts? He was delivering milk for
yeah,
them. So I think he starts at work around 4 in the morning. Because he starts early, he was finishing about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So what I enabled him to do was allow his missus to get a job.
yeah,
So his missus went and got a job and she trained as a dental nurse, right?
yeah,
So she dropped the kids off at school, go to work. Because he finished early, he'd come back, go and get an house kip. Then he'd
yeah.
go and pick his kids up from school.
Perfect.
So then both of them become working partners,
Yeah.
family. They bought an house 2 years ago, right? So they've got a
Right.
nice house now. So they just shows, the employment has enabled them to provide, for the family, where they can provide for his kids. He's got a mortgage, he's got himself he's got a car, he's got a motorbike. He's enjoying, the luxuries of life, or because
Yeah.
he's got that
Sure.
financial income and he's got the security coming in. As where when I met him, he's both unemployed.
Yeah. See things like that. I mean, because I mean, you've been nominated for some awards, haven't you? So, which is nice, which must make you feel good, but it can't be anything as good when you see a success story like
Well,
that.
I want to tell you something. I don't do this for awards, right?
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
just I do this right because I get my buzz right out of helping people, right?
Yeah.
So when someone passes the HCV license, right, they buzz anyway, right, because they just passed the test. But that's
Yeah.
not when I see the impact, because when they come, they're depressed. They haven't got no job, blah blah blah. Train them up. It's 6 months later when I speak to them. When they've been in work for 6 months, that's when I hear the real difference. That's when that depression that you hear in someone's voice has gone.
Yeah.
When I phone them, I go, "How are you doing?" "Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm doing this. I'm settled in. I'm going on holiday." You hear that difference in someone's voice because you can actually hear depression in someone's voice.
Absolutely.
You can hear it. And you can hear it when someone's like happy. They've got that. You can hear it in the voice. Well, I pick up on it. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
that's where I buzz off it. I don't do this because I get nominations or anything like that. I don't do it for that. I get my satisfaction every day when I see that, like the people that I've helped, working, providing for the families. Do you know what I mean? That's where
Yeah.
I get my buzz.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So you actually pay for the training, don't you? So it's funded, isn't it?
Yes, it's all funded.
So is National Lottery funded?
So when I first started, I didn't know what I was doing. I just went and
Right.
bought my first truck. Never done a training school before. I was still a fuel tanker driver at the time, but I went and bought a truck. It cost me $5,000. Being a fuel tanker driver, I was taking home like $4,000. I was taking $4,000 a month after tax and put the overtime in. So I had
Yeah.
money, from being a fuel tanker driver. But I went and bought my first truck. It cost me $5,000. I named after Jamie Doyle, and I started having an impact straight away. Then learning what I became a CIC, which is I can't remember what it stands for. It's like a non-profit organisation because I got told that's a route that you have to go. So we followed that route and we applied for some funding to the Veterans Foundation, National Lottery, and they started giving us funding. And because of the impact that we're having, and we was able to show the people that we're training, funding became easy for us. Where we apply, where you give some to charities or organisations, you don't know where it goes. Whereas ours, you can see, ours is impactful straight away. So if someone gives us some money, that's the person that you're helping. That's them working now. Do you know what I mean? So we got Veterans Foundation helping us. We've got money from the Office of Veterans Affairs, which is the government. They give us money. And it's just the ASDA's. So ASDA's now one of our biggest supporters, and I remember speaking to ASDA, and I always say this story, and I went with my friend who was a serving major at the time. And when you go knocking on the door of a big corporate company, we went and knocked on the door, and we went and told our story, and we was blown away. They went, we want to get involved. And ASDA have been one of the most fantastic, supporters of what we do. And we train veterans up and get them jobs with them, but they raise money for us each year. They've got the Veterans into Logistics stickers on the side of their trucks. They've just been fantastic. And they're I'm not just saying it, but they're like a military family themselves, the way they are with the employees. And I'm loyal to ASDA because of what they've done for us as well. They're a fantastic, organising company, should I say, that support our mission.
Yeah, you get you get support from other companies. I think I read, is it Tiger Trailers, EMR?
Tiger Trailers, EMR, which is European Metal Recycling. So do you know where you go, where all your scrap metal? So as a kid, I used to go and get scrap metal and go and wait in the scrap yards. Right. I used to wear scrap metal in the scrap yard. So EMR, Palex have got trucks in Veterans into Logistics. Booker's the wholesalers. They've got trucks in Veterans into Logistics, colours and the stickers. Best Food Logistics, so they deliver all to your KFCs, your Burger Kings. They've got all their stickers, and it's growing. Our mission is getting out there, and we've got more and more companies who are contacting us on a weekly basis, wanting to get involved and support our mission. And my vision, or should I say, my vision is one day every truck will have a sticker on. That's what I manifest in my head. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want to get into a position where there's no homeless veteran on the street, there's no veteran in prison. And I want to help more, not just veterans. I want to help the people from deprived areas and the council estates and getting them into the industry. People from adverse backgrounds, to make it a lot easier to get into this industry.
What is the scale of unemployed veterans at the minute in the UK? Do you know?
I'll be guessing, but it's pretty high. I'm not going to say the stats because I don't know, but it's pretty high.
Fair play. So talk me through the process from beginning to end then. So from when people contact you, or how they even contact you, or how you find people.
So people, now it's word of mouth. We're getting loads contacting us, and they go onto our website, veteransinterlogistics.org.uk. They fill in a referral form. They'll get picked up by the office staff. First thing that they'll do is they have to go for a D4 medical, to show that they're able to drive a HGV. Once they pass that D4 medical, we book them the theory test. So we can book them a theory test anywhere in the country. We get the postcode and find the nearest theory test centre where they live. We then send them an app so they can start learning straight away online. We can monitor that to make sure that they know they're studying as well. So if they're not studying, they're not getting the theory test. But we'll support them to get them through it. Once they pass the theory test, we then give them a practical driver training. And then once they've done that, that's half the mission, because we will help them get a HGV license. We use our partners who take on newly qualified HGV drivers, give them that drive development that they need, and support them into secure employment.
Yeah. So what's the success rate on that then to finding work?
90, 95, 96%.
Right. Yeah, cool.
It's not that we can't find them work, 100% of finding work. Yeah. It's whether they want to. We're near enough 100% at getting people work, because of our partners and because they're ex-military. Most of these companies sign up to the Armed Forces Covenant. They will give them that opportunity. So we're in nearly 100% of getting individuals into work.
So it's not just logistics you're doing, and not just HGV driving. Now you've ventured out into the crane world, haven't you? Mobile crane world.
I'm promoting the mobile crane world, so I promote the careers. So we've got a Veterans Job Board UK.
Right.
So what we've got is we've got Ains Crow advertising their jobs on there, because they take on a lot of ex-military personnel. And to me, it's not whether you're driving a truck or operating a mobile crane. You're employed. Do you know what I mean? But I do know to operate a mobile crane, you need your class 2. So when we get people, we train them up and we get them to class 2, we promote the careers of the mobile crane, because not everyone wants to be stuck on the motorway, So we promote the careers. I say, well, you can become a mobile crane operator. And some people choose to go down that route to get into the construction industry and, work as a mobile crane operator.
Yeah. Do you think that's going to be something you'll be putting into your program?
Yes, we're going to be doing a lot more, promoting a lot more, and working with the mobile crane operators to to promote these type of careers for the less academic service leavers again.
Yes, let's touch on that. So they're not getting what's called ELCAS points, are they? They're not allowed to use their ELCAS points for that. Can you explain what that is?
So at present, right, the way they've got it, ELCAS has got like an educational barrier, or should I say criteria set on what you can use that funding for. So at the moment, you can only use it for learning credit level 3 or above. Educational barrier, which I think is wrong. I think it's discrimination, right? Because if someone turned around and said to you, you can only use that ELCAS learning credit if you use white or black, right? That would be classed as racial discrimination, and rightly so. So why should they put an education barrier in front of it? Because to me, it's an educational barrier. So it's an educational discrimination.
Yeah.
If you got that funding, you should be able to use that funding for whatever you want to use it for. If you want to go and work at a nail bar, you should be able to use it to become a nail technician, as long as it gets you a job. But anyway, I trained a veteran to get his class 2 license, well, class 1 license actually. He now became a mobile crane operator. He has ELCAS learning credits that he's got saved up. He could not use them to become a mobile crane operator. He had to pay £3,500 himself. And that's wrong. That's someone who served the country, willing to die for the country, built up his credits. He couldn't get access to them. He had to pay for himself. So that's what I've been lobbying with at the moment. I had a fantastic meeting today with the Veterans Minister, Al Carnes. I highlighted this issue to him, and he went, no, we need to change this. So I'm going to sit down with the Veterans Minister probably next week or a week later, and we're going to look at getting this changed. And if we do, that will open a lot more training opportunities for the less academic service leavers, and hopefully, if they leave the military and they want to go into the mobile crane industry, they want to go into any type of construction industry, that's learning credit level 3 or above or below, they can use it. Because to me, you go and learn to drive a plant, the earth movers, they're on £20 an hour. Do you know what I mean? And that's classed as a learning credit level 2 that they can't use. So it's wrong.
It is wrong. Funny, really, because my last episode, I spoke to the guy brought his son on, and his son said when he was at school, even the schools, they weren't pushing or promoting these kind of jobs. It was more the academic side.
It is. Do you know why? Do you know why? Right. I've seen so much since I've done veterans into logistics. Right. I've not got into politics, but I understand politics a lot more. It's all a business. Right. Yeah. All your foreign students is a business. All pushing people into courses, right? Crap courses that colleges do, but they're not going to get a job. It's a business. The colleges draw money down from the taxpayer. Do you know what I mean? It's like becoming a HGV driver. They called it a boot camp. They've done 16 weeks of it. And I went, at the time I spoke to the, Steve Barclay was the Downing Street Chief of Staff, came to see me. I said, why are you putting 16 weeks of training to become a HGV driver, right? Because you got maths on it, you got English on it, you got everything else but HGV driver training, turn it into 16 weeks. I train people in 6 weeks. I don't put maths, I don't put English. I said, have you ever driven abroad? Have you ever driven in Spain? And you can't read Spanish, but you can still drive. So why are you putting English in front of these individuals? I said, you need to take that away. I said, because these kids from who are not academic, they don't like school in classroom environment, they're not going to say that course. I said, I don't do any of that. I said, if you've got ADHD, I went, they support you when you pass your theory test by DVSA. There's no support with these academic courses. And as long as you pass your theory test, your HGV theory test, you have demonstrated to DVSA that you fit the criteria, you pass the criteria to become a HGV driver. The same as what you do when you want to go and get a car license. If you pass that theory test, you can go and take your driving test. If you don't pass it, you can't do it. Do you know what I mean? Until you pass it. So why are these training? And I know why. It's so all these training companies can milk the system and get as much money, right? So the training company's getting richer, right? And the people that need that license or they need that support to get into employment don't get it. Do you know what I mean? And that's just a society. Do you know what I mean?
That's the reality of it, isn't it? But the thing is, what they need to realise is, if they look at the bigger picture, right, Starmer wants to build 1.5 million homes in the next few years, yeah?
Yeah.
You have a shortage of trades at the minute, apparently, according to all the media outlets, and there's a high unemployment rate. So what they're doing, restricting this, is actually adding to this problem. So why don't they get these people out into the industry? That would help, wouldn't it?
100%. So if they take away the educational barrier, right, and they get the people into it, they get the less academic because it's a skilled job, and you think of it, so I can get a young lad at 18, right, off a council estate, get him trained up on 40 grand a year.
Yeah.
Right, that's a faster way than someone can get if they went to university. Not just that, I'm preventing that individual from going down a life of crime. So you look at it like this, you wonder where some young individuals get lost in society and they turn to crime, they turn to grafting, you know what I mean? Because they've got no trade, they got to survive, they got to eat, and they get sucked into criminality. As where they go, right, we turn it more into skilled. Let's get you into employment. Let's get you in a decent wage. Let's get you part of society where you pay your taxes, where you're earning a decent wage. You don't need to go grafting. We'll educate you so you can earn £1 a week and more. Do you know what I mean? And you look at the most young kids who are grafting, and you said, right, if we can give you a guaranteed £1 a week, working, would you rather have that or do you want to go grafting? 9 times out of 10, they will say, give me that work. It's just that they don't get shown that opportunity.
Do you think? Because, well, I suppose they would do, yeah. But a lot of these, it depends really, because if you are from that kind of background and you've got a new family now with these gangs that you come in, and they see this easy money, quick money when they're earning whatever, five £1,000 a day, whatever.
Know what? You do get, listen, you get your career criminals like that, right? You're not going to change them. They start getting go to prison, come out, they start changing the 30s, 40s, right? But if you've done more like the ones like the boxing gyms, the ones who are trying to fight their ways out, like there's a lot more that can be done, and there's a lot where you can get them, like the runners, or you can get them when they're young, and you can get them somewhere they can earn a decent wage. Give them that option. Do you know what I mean? And I know some people they love it. They love the gang culture. They love the and all that as well. Do you know what I mean? But not everyone wants to go down that life. And if you can educate them and let them know that there's employment opportunities there as well. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you're living proof of that. I mean, you've lived that life, you've experienced it, and you've come out the other side. So yeah. What's been your biggest challenges so far doing this work?
When I first started it.
Right.
I got depressed and I put loads of weight on, and it was hard. But truthfully, now there's no challenges. I love it. Do you know what I mean? Right. We've had the BBC documentary, getting invited to go on podcasts and stuff like that. I'm raising the awareness of the mission. But having last year we supported 270. We're getting 10 more trucks. We just formed the partnership where we're getting 10 more trucks. So we're going to have trucks in London, Birmingham, every major city in the UK. In the next few weeks, let's say probably 6 weeks time, with our veterans into logistics. So you just think of the impact that we can have there. And that would be a lot where we could potentially change between 800 and 1,000 veterans' lives a year.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But when you think of it like that, you're not just changing 1,000 veterans' lives, their families. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if we can do that, I'll be happy, man.
Where do you see it in 5 years then?
I don't even think that far. I just every day where it goes. I'd love, truthfully, I'd love it to be in America. I'd love it to be a veterans into logistics in every major country, right? Whether it be in France, America, helping fellow veterans who are less academic, upskilling them, getting them to become HCV drivers, getting them to become mobile crane operators, helping them into a trade. Like I said, I've got Veterans Job Board UK. I'm hoping that we can take that Veterans Job Board on a platform and open opportunities to other ex-military personnel across the.
Sorry, I got my dog under my feet.
I wondered what you was doing. I thought you was tap dancing.
No, I got him under my feet. It sounds like he's being sick or something. I don't know what he's up to. Right there, mate.
That's what I'd like, but whether it gets said or not, do you know what I mean? But I'm just happy the way it's going.
I think that's possible. I really do. You're getting in with the right people now, the politicians and that. I think that you can make it happen. I think that would be perfect. Yeah.
So I got invited down to Westminster a few weeks ago, and I've been down to the Cabinet House before, but I've never been into the House of Commons. So I was invited to go and talk at this. It's called an APPG meeting, all party parliamentary group, and I just remember being there, and I was there with all these big people, seniors from different companies, and I was like, wow, I'm a Cal State kid, you know what I mean? I'm sat in
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
and it was on about driving out to get younger generation into this industry. So I had all the bigwigs sat all around this. It's like a courtroom, and there's all sat around the table, and I sat there, and they had like the back people at the back bench, different people from like, and I was like, and when I got to speak, I went right. I said, "Can I just ask a question, please?" And they looked up, and like the minister was there. I said, "Can you put your hand up? You got your HCV license?" Anyone in? Not one had the HCV license, and I just went, "Well," I said, "I think I'm in a good position to talk here. Like I'm the only one with the experience because they're talking how to get,
Yeah.
younger people, more people into the industry, but you got people that have never done it." Telling
Yeah.
people, and I was like, I left there scratching my head, like thinking, no wonder, they don't get it right. You know what I mean? You want people. It's like the mobile crane. I want someone like you to go into Parliament. How do you get people into industry? Don't ask the
Mm.
teachers. Don't ask the education people where they can. Well, we need to do this. Ask the people that do the job.
Yeah.
They'll tell
Yeah.
you because they've done it. They've experienced it. Do you know what
Yeah.
it's like to become a crane operator? Do you know
Yeah.
what you had to know? What you had to do? I know last time we spoke, you told me you was a groundsman. But you
Yeah.
progressed onto like, right, you've seen it go, I fancy
Yeah.
doing that. But you know
Yeah.
what you had to do? I know what to do, become a HCV driver. But you've got your experience that you can share and educate people. Right, well, if you want to do it, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
Not people who've never done it. Well, we think you know how to do it. You know what I mean?
With this, I mean, I don't want to go on too much about politics, but this is part of the problem in politics that they live in another world, don't they? They don't really live in our world. So, I know you're in with them now, so you don't want to talk too badly of them.
No, I'm not living in a good world. No, I'm not just saying that. No, listen, different. It's like anything, right? What I found out in politics, right? And it's the same what with the military, right? You got politicians that come from council estates who
Mm,
live the real world. You get people that have been brought up with a silver spoon, not in the real world.
mm,
I'm not saying they're not in the real world, but unless you've experienced, humble beginnings, hard know what it's like, you don't really know. You can't assume what it's like to have nothing. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? But and you got all different types. Do you know what I mean? But it's down to the person. If you got a good person who wants to make a change, they're not
yeah,
chasing the money, not chasing the greed. They want to make a change and they'll create a better community, and they'll support young people into employment. And if you're working with people like that, they make a difference. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? But if you got the training companies who are just in it for like the pound signs and they don't really care about the individual,
yeah,
do you know what I mean?
yeah. Sure, definitely, mate. Right, so I've got the last question, and I usually do like a nonsense questions thing at the end, just a bit of fun. But the last one is, what advice would you give to a young person going into the military?
So going into the right, so my advice is going into the military. Try and get a trade. Enjoy it. Put your name down for everything that you can. You know what I mean? If you
Mm,
can stay in as long as you can. But if you come out, leave with a HCV license, right?
mm,
Get that HCV license because it's always a backup. Do you know what I mean? You might not need it,
yeah,
but if you can get that HCV license, get it while you're in there. So if you do leave, it's a backup. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Because one thing about having a HCV license, you will never go out of work. So when 2008, when you had the worldwide, recession,
yeah,
all construction work stopped. Drivers kept on going. A lot of construction workers became truck drivers.
mm,
We've just been through a worldwide pandemic with the COVID. Do you know, truck drivers became key workers.
mm,
Do you know, they might have stopped like everything else, but
mm.
without a truck driver, you got no toilet roll. You got nothing. And one truck,
Exactly.
what I seen on the back of one truck, like when people write the little, like MCFC or they write something on the back of the truck, it went
Yeah,
truck drivers deliver everything apart from babies. And I just
yeah,
thought, do you know what
yeah,
I mean? But even
exactly.
in the
Yeah,
construction, when you look at, so you look at, right, you're a mobile crane operator,
tower crane.
tower crane, right?
Yeah,
You need a HCV driver to get your tower crane from site to site.
yeah,
You
exactly.
know,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you need it. You need a HCV driver to bring on site. Like how much stuff do you live? How much do you
Oh,
lift off
mate,
the?
honestly, yeah, the wagons that come through, it's unbelievable. I mean, you're right, the country would come to a standstill.
Yeah,
When they had a strike a few years ago, didn't they? And it just fucked everything up, didn't it, really? We had,
yeah,
yeah, but saying that though, in construction, there'll always be construction as well. So during the pandemic, I didn't stop working either. I was,
You know,
some reason, construction workers and HGV workers, they don't get COVID. So we just carried on. We just backed on.
yeah, yeah. Do you know? I'm glad. Do you know what? So do you know when COVID first came in, I was a fuel tanker driver for Morrison's. So because there wasn't a lot of people, delivering, like, using fuel,
Yeah,
there wasn't a demand for it. So I actually volunteered to go and do that, like the general haulage for Morrison's, the store to store. But they
yeah,
didn't. They said, no, you're okay. You're a fuel tanker driver. But I went down to doing what I normally do, one 4 on 4 off. I went down to doing 1 day a week, having something like 7 days off, then 1 day a week, getting on full pay. I enjoyed it, me.
yeah,
Like, I was like, wow, this is so good. This, I was on full pay. The first no lockdown was good because it's hot. I was in the garden a lot. You know what I mean? But the second one, when it was like pissing it down, it was a bit crap, wasn't it? You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah. But I
Can
remember
you?
going.
Sorry, yeah. Can you go straight out and become a fuel tanker driver, or do you have to have some experience first?
No, so it's no, you can't. No, I would say no. It has been done
Right.
because I got someone to do it, but that was down to attitude. So I always advise people, right? Get your HCV license. Go and get a bit of experience.
Yeah,
You're not going to go and get a job working as like the supermarket deliveries, like I was on the forecourt deliveries. What I had to do was, even though I was a class 1 driver, an Arctic driver, I stepped down to become a class 2 driver, where I was delivering, like the smaller vehicles, where I was doing like domestic fuel. So I was going like to farms, boats, delivering that type of fuel. That got me my ADR, my PDP, which is a petroleum driver's passport, but it gave me the experience of moving liquids, fuel, to smaller capacity. I was delivering to like bus stations, your haulage companies. But when I seen it, because I got like 2 years experience of doing that, when I seen a position, arise on, to go back onto the bigger stuff, onto the class 1 trucks, doing the supermarket deliveries, I applied and I got myself on. I was fortunate. Gave a good interview and I got on a job.
yeah,
But,
yeah. It's
but
better
yeah,
money.
yeah. But it's like anything, like yourself, construction and like logistics industry, they work side by side.
Yeah,
You look at your tipper drivers. A building site's not getting done without a HCV driver.
yeah,
And if you need a crane operator, it's not getting built without a crane operator, whether that's a mobile crane or it's a tower crane.
yeah, 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 yeah. Well, that's funny enough because you say that. That's bang on actually because you got recommended to me. So I was on TikTok and someone messaged me privately on TikTok. You know him, Shay,
Yeah,
and he said he's a mobile crane operator. And he said you got to get this guy on. He's doing great things. Veterans into logistics, and I thought that is good, but that's great. That is, but logistics, it's not. It's got a construction-based thing. But then I thought about it. I thought, well, actually, it is because you get construction lorry drivers, and like you say, that it ties in. It ties in. I get so many wagons come through our sites all the time. So
100%. So when I tell people about HCV driving, so you need a class 2 to become a mobile crane operator, right? And when I say what do you want to go into, there's that many different types of jobs, right? People have a perception when you become a truck driver, like they watch stow bites, they think they go on a Monday, come back on a Friday, or they watch ice road truckers. There's not.
yeah,
You look at your grab drivers, doing the road works, they dig up the road, they turn up the grabs, they pick it up. The cement mixers that turn up at the building sites on a daily basis. You got the tippers that come on and shift all the muck, take it off site. Then you've got like your bigger vehicles that that will bring the steel, the concrete. It's like how many flatbeds do you lift off on your shift? Like lifting,
yeah,
like the driver.
yeah,
There's a truck here, right? We got to lift this off. You lift it off. You put
yeah.
it down. But without drivers, it won't happen.
Exactly that. Well said.
It's working
All right.
together, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Collaborations. Right, let's
I,
get on to the
I,
number.
I want to do a TikTok video with you, climb up that tower crane.
What? You come up my
Yeah,
crane?
I'll come and do a TikTok interview you, and you can tell me what it's like being a mobile crane, so we can promote the careers for service leavers, right? And say, right, if you want to get into this industry, you can tell me about. I'll give you a lot of the review at the bottom of mobile crane, and you can tell them, right, you want to get into this industry. This is what you need to do. Blah blah blah. Let's do it after get the ELCAS changed, so we can promote them careers. That's what we need to do. Yeah.
I'll see what I can do. I'm up for that. It's difficult. It is difficult with the cranes because we've got to do insurances and stuff like that. But if I talk,
I won't climb up it. We can stand at the bottom. You know, I'll turn up with me steel toe cap boots.
no, you've got to come up there, man. 130. I think it's 136 meters up on at the minute. Can you manage it?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wouldn't bother me that.
No. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, you've done jumps and all that sort of stuff, haven't you?
Yes.
Right. Let's do some nonsense questions. So, first one. That's a bit stupid. If aliens visited, what music would you introduce to them?
Oasis.
Really? Why go for Oasis? Typical.
All right.
Obvious answer.
What do you want to go for? Blur?
No.
No. A music. Do you know? No.
If you love Oasis,
I wouldn't use Oasis. Aliens. I'd use that. No, that heavy rock. You know, that screaming like the devil. You know, the heavy.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Listen to that because I hate that type of music. You know what I mean? They might say no, we're not visiting Earth.
I think they'd hate Oasis more, to be honest.
I believe in UFOs.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do as well, actually.
What's been going on? Like, so I was fascinated before Christmas. All them lights that were seen in America.
Yeah.
And I was coming home every day. I was putting YouTube on, and I was going, "Da-da, da-da," do you know what I mean? And I do believe in it, but I don't believe that we're on our own.
I say I believe in it. I'd like to believe in it. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't know, but I do find it interesting. I watched a lot of interviews on it, and you see, because all the sighting seems to be around military bases out there.
Yeah.
And there was this general that come on. He had done an interview, a former general, and he said there was a military base and it had all nuclear warheads in it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
You've seen it, yeah? And lights come out, lights come down by the gates. The big fucking bright lights come down by the gates, and then all these nuclear warheads systematically got disengaged and turned off.
Yep.
And then it just fucked off again. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, I believe all that, and I believe they've been here for thousands of years. Because you look at like even like in like you look at like the drawings that they see, they've got like starships and they've got like drawings of them, and you know, I believe in it. And no, it's only us like saying like denial, but it's there.
The thing is, all these drawings and all these tablets and all that, then they're sort of like all over the world from years ago, aren't they? So they kind of travelled to another part of the world and just made up a story and then done it. So there must be something in it.
There's something there, yeah.
I've got a theory that we've going on too much about it. It's just construction. But I've got a theory that we have derived from the aliens. There's a guy, I forget his name now, it's an American dude that these scientists. So scientists saying all this stuff, you know.
I believe it. What is that we sent? I believe it. Yeah,
so there's basically all these intergalactic wars. So these species were invading other planets, right? Whatever years ago. So this planet thought, fuck it, we just scarper, and they come over here, and we're the result of it. Don't know what you make of that, but that's another story. So, if you could have any celebrity as a patron for veterans into logistics, who would it be, and what would be their first official duty?
20 years ago, it would have been Kelly Brook.
Oh, really?
No, but I think Prince William.
Oh, wow, yeah, that'd be the one, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he served in the Air Force himself.
Yeah,
he's a veteran and future king.
Yeah,
and I'd have Prince William.
You never know, mate. You never know.
No,
really, honestly. What was the worst initiation you had to do in the military?
Do you want to know?
Yes.
Drink my own piss.
You drank your own piss?
Yeah.
Nice. That's a survival tactic anyway, isn't it, in the desert?
Yeah, you just do it. Yeah, you just drink your own piss.
But
they've done it. They used to play some of the stupid things that they've done in the military is like they get like everyone a piss in like. Piss in a pint pot, so it's not just your piss; it's every fucking else's piss. And they play like like musical chairs.
Yeah.
So you'd sit there, and I remember doing it in Canada, and they pass this pint, and as it comes round, you gotta like, if it stops on you, like where you used to have to, as a kid, you take the paper off, you have to net the piss with everyone else is pissing it as well.
Lovely, wonderful. So you're you know it. Have you ever bare-ass farted someone?
No.
No.
Yeah, my brother.
Oh.
All the time we like when it was bunk beds, all the time.
Yeah.
Growing up.
Nice. So that's it, mate. Well done. Paco, lastly, where can people find you?
So I'm on TikTok, Mank on a Mission. So I'm doing that. I've not done it for a few weeks, but I'm going to get back doing it. Man on a mission. Obviously, veterans into logistics. I'm on LinkedIn, Darren Wright. We've also got employment opportunities, which is Veterans Job Board UK. So
Right.
there's all different, not just HCV, but there's a lot of employment opportunities on there and training opportunities, offshore, mobile crane. There's a lot of employment opportunities on there as well.
Yeah. So what I'll do, I'll put if you send me all of those links, or
Yeah.
I'll put all of them in the thing, in the descriptions and that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, mate. Nice one. That wicked. That's it. Done.
No,
Thanks.
I want to say thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Honestly, it's a pleasure.
And see if you can work your magic so we can promote mobile, not mobile, tower cranes.
Yeah.
I know mobile tower crane people get offended if you become a mobile crane operator, eh?
Whatever. I'm going to do that. I'm going to work on that. So do you want me to wait until this LCAS thing's been sorted?
Let's see if we can just do it before, because I don't think it's going to take me that long to get it changed. And then let's see if we can promote the opportunities. Even if you had to do it through like a training company, not tower crane, training company, we can do it, because obviously we're going to promote their courses to the service leavers.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just see if we can do something together. And to me, let's change lives together.
I'm going to if you send me your logo, I'm going to put your logo on my website as well, if that's all right.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll send it to you.
No worries. Nice one, mate. Great to speak to you, Darren.
Thank you very much.
Nice one.